Today, we are going to learn about the story of Renato, a Brazilian who became a missionary. Have you ever thought about being a missionary? While he was still living in Brazil, Renato prayed to become a missionary. When he received an invitation to be a missionary teacher in Thailand, he thought that God had answered his prayers. But when he got there, he had doubts. He had always thought that missionaries should teach the poor about Jesus. But the children at his new school came from wealthy families. Their parents were ambassadors, models, and soccer players. Renato was confused. Why had God sent him to Thailand? He prayed, God, did you want me to travel 10,000 miles to serve rich people? There are many poor people in Brazil who need my help. Why did you bring me here? On the second day of school, he decided to have lunch with the children in the school cafeteria. Renato sat at the table with a group of students, and before eating, he closed his eyes to pray. Normally, he clasped his hands together to pray, but that day he held his hands out with his palms facing up. He wasn't sure why he was praying that way. He just did it. When he opened his eyes, he saw that one of the students, a 9-year-old girl, was watching him intently. What were you doing? She asked. I was praying. But you can't pray like that, she said, puzzled. You have to clasp your hands together. The girl, like many of the 1,500 children at that school, came from a non-Christian home. Everything she knew about praying to God had been taught in school. Her previous teacher had taught her to close her eyes and clasp her hands together while praying, and she couldn't understand why Renato hadn't clasped his hands together. Does God hear that kind of prayer? She asked. Of course, Renato said with a big smile. He hears everyone. I've prayed with my eyes open while driving a car. With my eyes open? The girl asked, surprised. Renato's smile grew. I've prayed while cooking, he said. I've prayed while exercising. The girl's shock and surprise increased. Renato said he had even prayed to God in the bathroom. What? The girl exclaimed. Can God hear you there? God can hear you anywhere, Renato explained. He's just waiting for you to talk to him. Sometimes he talks to you even if you don't talk to him. But you can pray to him anywhere, even with your eyes open and your hands in a different position. The girl didn't say anything. She was so amazed that she didn't even blink. After a long period of silence, she got up and left the table. She had a lot to think about. At that moment, Renato realized why God had sent him to Thailand. Rich children needed to know God too. Being a missionary doesn't mean sharing God's love only with poor people. Being a missionary means sharing God's love with everyone, everywhere. Pray for Adventist missionaries like Renato as they share God's love with people around the world. Thank you for your generous offerings this quarter.